Alright, we are live. Today we're playing Morrowind. Hello, Benito. How are you doing? Yeah. Okay, how about you? I'm doing pretty well. I quit my job, or at least I, put in a notice that I was quitting my job. So that feels good. Excited about that. And yeah, on to new things. What happened? Nothing really. I mean, I've been working at a gas station for a year now. And today I told my boss, you know what? I'm done with this. Next month, I'm quitting. And yeah, I mean, I've been thinking about quitting for a while now. I want to move on to, bigger and better things. And I mean, like the job I had was comfy. It was easy. Um, it was easy. It was comfy. I was comfortable there. I didn't really have much drive to go for bigger and better things because I was like, well, I have this. It's easy. I'm good here. But I need to move on. It's been a year. It was meant to just be temporary. What's next? Well, that's a bit of the issue. I was quitting also a bit to put pressure on myself to find more things, but hopefully I can get a job at the library. If not, maybe Barnes and Nobles or like a used bookstore. Um, and my family's also gone on a trip to Germany. Next in September, so I'm gonna, quit my job just before that. Go along on the trip. Maybe I see something in Germany that I want. There's a what's it called? I don't remember what it's called. Freiwillig, something, where you can like test out a bunch of different jobs. So I might try to do that in Germany as well. I don't know what it's called. It is. Freiwillige Berichte. Ja, keine Ahnung. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, you can like try out some, a bunch of different jobs, see what you like. So I might do that as well. Sign up for that. Hopefully something works, but yeah. The classic high, freiwillig, something job. Yeah. Freiwillig means, you're choosing to do it. It's free willing. So freiwillig Berichte. I think that's what it is. Maybe that's what it's called. So free willing, work. But you also get paid for it. So, it's only €400 a month though. Which I make like 400 in a week. So, bit of a downgrade there, but that's good. My brother did it. He found what he wanted to do in life through that program, so maybe it'll also work for me. How have I been? Yeah, I mean pretty good. Yeah. Bit nervous, but excited for what the future has. what, 400 euro in USD? It's like a little bit over $400. I'm pretty sure. It's pretty equivalent. Oh, right, I was still looking for Hlaod, the Shala near Hlaod, which for some reason I've just been really struggling to find. Where even am I? What the fuck? Alright, let's go back to Hlaod again. Alright, we just need to go straight this way and we'll end up in Hlaod. But yeah, so finally moving on from that, and hopefully all works out, and I'll, you know, move on to better things. Freiwilligdienstbericht? Freiwilligdienstbericht? Or something? I don't know. You know, sometimes Atmosphere, Force, and Fog, yeah. Or just... Atmosphere's always great in the game. In Morrowind, I don't know. No, did we found a road? Oh, it's the coast. So I just need to go a little further this way. Alright. Pretty sure if I just keep walking this way, we'll end up at Hlaod. Now, that is the bridge to, yeah, Asurnibib. Music might be a little loud, actually. Just turn it down a little bit. Music's very nice, but I think I was a little bit too loud, maybe. I don't know why this place is so hard to find. North from Hlaod, cross a bridge and follow the coast to the west until you reach a bridge to an island. Cross a bridge. Okay, hold on. No. Music was a little loud. Okay. Hope that's a better volume. Okay, this is probably the bridge they were talking about. Right, so north of Hlaod, cross a bridge. I mean, this is north that way, but just to be sure, I'm gonna go all the way back to Hlaod. Okay, Hlaod is there. Alright, so go north from Hlaod, and then cross a bridge and follow the coast to the west until you reach another bridge to an island. It's in a muck pool on the north side of this island. Okay. So this time I'm not even gonna... Music still seems a little bit loud, actually. About there. This I'm not going to follow the road at all. I'm just going to walk straight along the coast. Too blind you can't place torches? Yeah. I mean, I think there's like a mod that you can use to have lanterns. And I mean, also I can just, you know, do... Oh, no, it's further into the night now. You can also travel in the daytime. Alright, this time, Just gonna walk along the coast. First bridge I see. Hopefully it's... I mean... Yeah, the first bridge is gonna be to Ashern... is to the Daedric Temple. Alright, let's rest another 2 hours. It's at least morning now. Okay, so the north side of this island. So if I walk... Maybe it is daytime now. So if let's try to just walk along the north coastline of this island. I mean, this seems like a muck pool. Because I know it's not the Daedric... I mean, it can't be the Daedric Shrine. Oh, hold on. There's an entrance that I've been missing the entire time here. Oh my goodness. Found it. Oof. I just walked past it so many times. I've been on this island like 5 times looking for this spot. Oh shit. Ah. Oh, come on. Let me cast my spell. Are you heckin' skeleton? What the fuck? Hold on, what? No. No, why is this? What? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, what? What? Since when were skeletons that strong? What? What the heck? That was just a regular skeleton. Okay. I mean, it's still pretty strong. I don't know what happened the first time. Could be higher tier skeleton? I mean, oh, okay, skeleton champion. Okay. I mean, that's still, it's a skeleton. Why is it so strong? Oh shit. Could not be another champion. Alright, try taking on my little army here. Damn. Damn. What the? Holy shit. Ah. These skeletons are strong. Whew. Meet today. Downloads Arch connects to internet, finds out how much work partition is, runs Arch install, boots into Arch. Install i3. i3 has an error, it doesn't work. Uninstalls Arch Linux. Damn. I mean, you can't only install i3, you have to install Xorg as well. For i3 to, you know, have an environment, you know. You have to download this display server for i3 to run. I mean, maybe Arch takes care of that for you, but I don't know about that. You did that stuff? Okay. Did you have a config file for i3? I mean, it should, on startup, create a config file for you, so I don't think you'd have to have a config file for i3. use defaults. As shield and broadsword adding to toughness bring champion. Yeah. Oh shit. Oh. My army is blocking me from being able to attack this guy. There we go. What kind of errors were you having with I3? Because I remember having some issues with I3, like, you know, if you just install, you know, X server and then I3 on Alpine, I remember having some issue with it. You also install Garuda, which is arch-based, and at least the KD version ran like shit. I mean, I've mostly heard good things about Garuda. I don't know why the KD version would run badly. Ow. Damn, that actually did a lot of damage. While updating the system packages, your computer was lagging so much, couldn't even move the mouse. I mean, maybe it was, had to update some KDE stuff. I mean, or some Xorg stuff, or Wayland stuff. Oh shit! Oh no, this is the boss fight. I should have waited before going into the boss fight. Probably. Damn, this guy is a lot weaker than I thought he would be. Maybe not gonna lie, just gonna stick to mint. Might not be perfect, but nothing is. I mean, yeah. Once you find like a comfy spot, just stick with it for a while. You know, I stuck with. I mean, I even used Zorin OS for like quite a bit, a couple months at least. Just stuck with that. Like distro hopping is a thing, but you know, for me it was usually like I would distro hop between a couple distro hop a little bit. You know, I tried a distro, didn't like it, on to the next one. But then once I found like one that was like decently nice, I would just stick with it for at least a couple months. And then eventually I landed on Arch, and I used Arch for a couple years. And now I've landed on NixOS, and I've been using that for the past couple of years. But yeah, I mean, once you find something you're comfy in, there's not much reason, like, you know, once you find something you like, just stick with it. To be honest, I think for your main desktop, I'll just stick to Windows, but if you get a laptop, you'll use Mint. Okay. Got some scrolls. I mean, I can sell them, I guess. That's trapped. Anything useful in it? Has a black level. Song of the Alchemist. It's an ancient soul of the Dwemer. I should... Let me put a save right here. So I know that this book is here. Ooh, a Master Mortar and Pestle. Do I have that? Because I remember... I don't know, I already have a... Well, I can sell one. Iron Ladle... Ooh, Master Calcinator. That's going to be useful. Master Retort. Okay, yeah, some useful stuff. But actually, hold on. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. We're back. Probably not gonna get a laptop. You're broken. Well, there's no reason to buy you one. You don't have a great case for it anyway. Yeah. I mean, if you really want a laptop, you can just buy like a cheap one, like an old one off of eBay. Like I mean, a lot of times the ThinkPads are a bit overpriced, but like you can probably get like a T420 or a X220 for a decent price. Those are pretty good. But you know, those are also, I don't know, ThinkPads are, you know, if you can find one for like $50, that's an okay deal. $25 is good, I would say. $50 is okay. Once you get 100, it's a bad deal. If you really want a laptop. You tried doing dual boot? Yeah, dual boot is kind of... I've not heard great things about it. You could buy one, but there's not much you could do on a laptop like that. Yeah. I mean, at that point, you might as well. You could probably actually also buy a. Like if you're thinking about performance, you could probably buy, I think, a Chromebook with better performance. And just, you know, Chromebooks sell, you know, you can buy Chromebooks for super cheap. And just put Linux on it. Alright, well, I've killed this guy. So I guess I can report back to Skink. Tell him I've killed him. Do I have a spell to unlock? No, I don't. You want a good laptop? I know that's a strange idea, Linux users. No, I mean, I get it. Like, I mean, I've thought about buying, like, a framework or a System 76, laptop as well. Those are the, you know, pretty much the only two laptops that I'm really, if I were to buy a laptop, those are the two companies that I know of that I would buy from, but also it's like $1,000 for a laptop, and I don't know, it feels a bit much. Because I've been thinking about just replacing my desktop. And, you know, taking like my GPU out, because my GPU is way better than like any of the other components in my desktop. Taking the GPU out, and, you know, turning that into an external GPU for a laptop, and then making like a dock, you know, take my laptop out, and then you know, just put it in a dock, and on, you know, connects to the eGPU, my monitors and all that. And I've been thinking about that, but the price there, and I don't know. I don't really have much reason to be mobile with the computer.
Welcome. Please don't be shy. I'm listening.
You're not a Linux user, been a Windows user for about 2.5 decades. Oh, yeah. The other thing I've thought of is making a all-in-one, like taking a Raspberry Pi, turning that into a phone, laptop, and desktop. You know, having a dock for it for desktop use, having, you know, some kind of, you know, put a battery on it, and, you know, keyboard, and a nice screen for, you know, essentially making a laptop, and then also adding SIM card capabilities for texting and calling, and then yeah, maybe even adding an e-ink display for reading books on it, and, you know, spiraled from there. But like also at least the Raspberry Pis that I have, they're not good enough to, or the one I have is not really good enough to really run most, you know, it would be, any desktop environment would be pretty slow on it, and, you know, Window Manager would be a bit faster, but yeah, I wouldn't be able to run much. Raspberry Pi 5 is a beast, yeah, but I'd have to buy that.
What can I help you with? Welcome. Please don't be shy.
And I mean, I have a Raspberry Pi right now. Why are they all talking at once? Alright. Do not requirements. Well, I guess I can go to the other guilds, see if they have any quests for me. Let's go to Alderoon, I suppose. The Raspberry Pi I have now is not very powerful. Raspberry Pi 5 does look pretty nice. The other thing as well is I would have to, like, for the texting capabilities, texting and calling capabilities, I'd have to write my own program for that. I'm nothing complicated. It has a 2.4 gigahertz quad core 64-bit ARM CPU. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Like, there have been other people who have made Raspberry Pis into phones. Like, there's 2 projects for that I've seen. And, you know, they wrote Python scripts for both of them use Python to make a messaging and phone app. But they're both designed for touchscreen, and they're also both designed for only using it as a phone, as touchscreen. So I'd have to write it myself. It would be challenging. It's a pretty simple Python script. I mean, basically all it does is interface with a different command that actually does the, you know, texting and calling, but then you just have to, like, store the messages in some way, and like all the Python program does is, like, store the messages in a file, and then makes a easier interface to use the command that actually does send the messages. So it wouldn't be challenging, but, you know, it's another layer of stuff I would have to do to adapt it for my use case. Like, it would be probably pretty easy to use as, you know, just write a bash script for it.
Outlander, or go away.
Who's the lead? I think she's the leader. Yeah, duties. I need to study a Dwemer 2. To this place. Dwemer 2, okay. Sure. Northwest of Gnissis. But there's an easier way to get there. Go to Ald-Valathi. Follow the coast to the west. Take the Silk Star to Gnissis and follow the road north. I'll mark Ald-Valathi on your map. Alright, so we go to Ald-Valathi, follow the coast. To the west from there. Alright.
Well,
Let's
I
do
find
it.
myself in pleasant company. Please share your thoughts.
I'm listening. Please, go ahead.
But yeah, speaking of bash scripts, I've sort of figured out, I've figured out how to do the, like the Morrowind story, audiobooks. The Morrowind book audiobooks that I've uploaded a few of, with FFmpeg, you know, editing them, you know, putting the video together with FFmpeg. I figured out how to do that. So now I'm thinking maybe I could make a bash script to speed up the process, and make it a bit easier. The way I figured out is quite clunky. It's not great. You think it'd be a great idea for me to use a normal distro for a while to understand what most people go through? I mean, yeah, it would probably be a good idea. But I don't know. I don't know if I'd enjoy it. So then it's like a measure of how much do I care about other people. I guess. Do I care enough about other people to, use a normal distro with a normal desktop environment with, normal GUI programs? Do I care enough about people to do that?
Why walk when you can ride?
Like when I spent, yeah. The issue, I think I'd be frustrated so much by like Linux Mint. Like apparently YTDLP's package is still broken on Linux Mint, on on Debian generally. Whereas, well, I think part of the issue was even if I did use a normal people distro like Linux Mint, I would still like fall back on my, weird niche software. Like I would put Nix on Linux Mint and then play around with that package manager and get around the YTDLP not working on Linux Mint just by also hello JMC Jin, how are you doing? Even if you use normal people distro, you do things the normal people way. No, if I use the normal people distro, I would, like, my first instinct on using Mint would be, alright, let's install i3. Alright, let's install all these minimal programs and, niche stuff. Wouldn't, yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, with that correction, I agree with that statement. I would, if I installed Mint, I would treat it like Debian and just ignore all the stuff that Mint has pre-installed and install my own stuff. I would butcher the distro. Yeah, 100%. I don't know. I mean, like, the thing... I've used... The software that I've been using for, like, the past... I don't know, almost half a decade. I've been using the same like minimal software for the past 5 years. It would be challenging for me to go back to normal people software. Challenge you to use a normal people distro, and do everything the normal people way, like for a month or something. Oh, I mean. I could do it, I guess. Oh. The thought of just using normal stuff feels wrong to me. And like even like normal stuff for Linux, which is already not a normal people thing. North, okay. If you do that, you lose Arch for a month. I mean, I don't recommend using Arch for a month. Honestly, NixOS is more yo. Oof. I don't want to agree to anything. I was about to say if you use NixOS for a month, maybe. But, I don't know. Normal Linux stuff is okay, like installing software from the terminal or using some CLIs.
Say your needs.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'd be able to use just like... Oh, the thought of just using like the software store, it feels so wrong to me. Okay, to be fair, I really should do that. You get see the normal experience. You've considered getting Linux instead of Windows 11? Yeah. I mean, before you go into Linux, it's, good to know the issues that Linux can have. There's some compatibility issues. That's like the big thing is some stuff is not going to run on Linux. That's, to me, the one thing that Windows has that Linux doesn't is almost every software runs on Windows, whereas Linux has a more limited options. You don't use a software store on Mint. You even use Mac. Do I constantly have to update on Linux? No. My OS, NixOS, which is, I always feel like I have to say, do not recommend using NixOS. For most people, it's a very specific use case for NixOS. It updates every half a year. So it has a new version every half a year, and you have to upgrade everything. I mean, you don't have to, but, the general idea is you update it every half a year, and it's pretty stable. And only, like, within that half a year, the only updates to any of your programs are going to be, like, security updates. So it's pretty stable. Debian does it, Debian's what most people use. Debian's package manager is a bit slower. I think it's like every year or so. Compatibility on driver issues as well. And then the other thing, as some people are mentioning here, some distros do update all the time. Arch Linux is the biggest one. It's a rolling release, so whenever there's a new version of any software, Arch Linux will, have that available right away, and you'll update to it. Arch updates when it feels like it, which is often no. Arch updates whenever there's anything new. Arch just constantly updates. Isn't Android basically a Linux system? Android is a fork of Linux. So Android, so Linux is just the kernel. Right? So the kernel got forked into Android by Google, and it's, they're walking down separate paths at this point. So Linux is walking down this path here, and then Android forked the path and went this way at some point. So they share the same origin, but they're no longer quite the same thing anymore. But they still have lots of similarities, and if you look at the very basics of Android, it is extremely similar to Linux, but it's not quite the same anymore. Android is optimized for use on a phone. Linux is optimized for use on a server. And when you're talking about versions of Linux, generally you're talking about distros, which just use Linux and then build a bunch of stuff on top of Linux. Right, so Android isn't a version of Linux the same way distros are. It, split paths with Linux a while back. And then distros, kind of versions of Linux like Arch and Debian are just stuff that is built on top of Linux to make it usable by people. iOS is built on the Linux file system. No, iOS is built on the Unix file system, which Linux is also built on top of. iOS, Mac and Linux, they're both based on, they're both POSIX compliant. So you have a pseudo Linux Android phone, yeah. iOS, they made their own kernel based off of FreeBSD. There's this whole thing. You know, it's a bit complicated, but you know, Linux is based off of the idea of Unix. And Mac OS is built off of the code base of BSD, I think. Your source is when Dad was an iOS app developer, he jailbroke his phone and looked through the file system. At least back then it was the Linux file system. Well, yeah, the Linux file system is the Unix file system. The Linux file system isn't really a thing, or you know, it is, but you know, Linux got its file system from Unix. Oh, who's that over there?
How does the day greet you, friend?
Wait, I think I remember her. She has like an invisibility thing or something. Yes, lady in distress. Okay, drop your ring. Can't even find it. I think it must have rolled down into the bottom. Can't go in to get it because I'm expected to keep shortly. You see, I'm a dancer. I can't very well smell like muck water now, can I? Would you please get it for you? Well, yeah, I'll get it. And then I think she attacks you or something. I think that's what it is. He said I was a spell on the Linux kernel. That is 100% incorrect. I'm sorry to say. If it was built on the Linux kernel, then it would have to be open source. The iOS kernel is probably built off of one of the BSDs. You know, it is built off of one of the open source MIT licensed BSDs. If I had to guess. Because Linux is licensed as GPL. So if iOS were to be built off of Linux, it would also have to be open source. So if iOS was built on the Linux kernel, that would be illegal, I think. Unless they also made their... Wait, no. Is the iOS kernel open source? If it's open source, then yeah. The kernel of iOS is the XNU kernel. Okay, I might be wrong here. iOS is closed source software or proprietary. Yeah, but the kernel, because I remember having this misconception before. The kernel of macOS I know is open source. I'm gonna look it up now because I'm curious. So iOS kernel. Alright, so iOS, formerly iPhone OS, is a mobile operating system developed by Apple exclusively for smartphones. Its operating system that powers many of the company's mobile devices include the iPhone. It was also used on iPads until iPad OS was introduced in 2019. It's the world's second most widely installed mobile operating system after Android. It's basis for 3 other operating systems made by Apple: iPadOS, tvOS, and watchOS. As of December, Apple's App Store contained, I don't care. iOS is based on macOS. Like macOS, includes components of the Mach microkernel and FreeBSD. Okay, FreeBSD, as I thought. It's a Unix-like operating system, although some parts of the iOS are open source under the Apple public source license and other license. iOS is proprietary software. So the kernel might be open, like it is for macOS, but that's it. The basis of the XNU kernel is heavily modified hybrid open software foundation Mac kernel. XNU is X is not Unix. Great. I love those fun abbreviations. Is the computer operating system kernel developed with Apple. Yeah. So yeah, it's iOS based on Mac OS, and then Mac OS is the kernel for that is, I think it's the Darwin kernel. No, XNU. I thought it was Darwin. Kernel type hybrid XNU. What was Darwin then? Hold on. Darwin kernel. Darwin is the core Unix-like operating system macOS, previously OS X and macOS. It previously existed as an independent open source operating system, first released by Apple Inc. in 2000. This code derived from Next Step and FreeBSD and other BSD operating systems, and Mach and other. Okay. I'm just kind of confused at this point. Yeah, so mostly POSIX compliant. I don't know. It generally doesn't matter, but yeah, Mac is more. It's based. Darwin kernel redirects here for articles about the XNU kernel. Okay, and releases free and open source as part of the Darwin OS. So XNU is part of Darwin? Man, this is such a weird version developed by Next for Next Step operating systems. Hybrid kernel derived. Okay, so XNU is part of Darwin, and then Darwin is the kernel for Mac OS. And then macOS is not open source, but Darwin and XNU. Oh my god, this is just confusing at this point. Basically, macOS is based off of BSD and FreeBSD, which is based off of Unix, which you can go back and back, but at the very least, Mac has a direct line from the original Unix code base to Mac, whereas Linux, Linus Torvalds created Linux because he wanted a free version of Unix, so the code base is not the same. It's not a direct line. So they're separate things, but they're very compatible with each other. But honestly, it's a bit of a mess on, I don't know, I'm not following along all too much on what is going on with macOS and the XNU and Darwin and blah blah blah, whatever. Box reading the wiki and said, I don't care about miscellaneous. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care about some random macOS stuff. Your phone is Linux, it makes calls to the Linux server with everything it does, therefore iPhone's Linux. I mean, if you're looking at it that way, every single computer in the world is Linux, pretty much. Alright, so even though I know she's about to try to murder me, I'm still gonna go down and try to get a ring for her. There's an invisible guy. I think that, like, tries to attack you. Right there. Yeah, you bitch. Oh shit! They do more damage than I thought. Ah. Ah. Damn it. They were a lot stronger. Oh wait, where am I? What? Okay, at least I'd killed them already. You've never played any of the Elder Scrolls games? They're pretty fun. I mean, you know, you know, if you love lore, if you like getting into the story of a game, then the Elder Scrolls are incredible. They've got so much lore. They're jam-packed with lore. It's the best thing ever. It's my favorite, you know, game series. You say we create guidelines for each other and use the opposite OS for a month? You mean me use you're trying to suggest that I use Linux for a month? I mean Windows for a month? Like Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, Neverwinter Nights, etc. I haven't heard of Icewind Dale and Neverwinter. No, you want me to use Linux Mint? To get normal people Linux experience, yeah. I know I should. But it is the thought of it. I hate using a desktop environment rather than window manager. Oh. I've been so elitist on window managers for close, you know, for like 5 years now. You've beaten original Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, also beaten Icewind Dale and its expansions. Really? Oh, or like, what is Icewind Dale? Is it like similar to Baldur's Gate where it's like, oh yeah, it's a top-down thing? Can I give up my elitist attitude for Linux for a month? Is really the question there.
Should you need something, I will be happy to oblige. All right, I'm
Greetings to you, brethren.
Go ahead.
I'll have to do things like use the included software. Oh. GNOME KDE or Cinnamon for the desktop environment. Ugh. Ugh. Oof. All three of those use floating window managers. Ugh. I mean, okay, hold on. If I use KDE, I think the KDE has a plugin, maybe, to make KWin a tiling window manager. I don't think it's a manual tiler, which I really dislike the idea of. I've used, you know, i3 manual tiler for 5 years at this point. I don't know if I can. Oof. I've tried open box for the floating window manager experience, and ugh. No BS, no crazy plugins for racing. Oh man, a floating window manager. Well, no, they by default they all have, at the very least, they have the feature of like snapping. If you like move a window to the right side, it snaps be half the screen, right? Like Gnome has that, and KDE has that, right? They both have that, right? Please, at least have that. Snapping is amazing. Okay, so they do have snapping, at least. That's good. OpenBox didn't have that by default back when I tried it. Okay, I mean, I could live with that. Just having to, use the mouse to drag the window over. I could live with that. It's not horrible. It's a normal thing, yeah. You say it's normal. Mac hasn't had that for quite some time. Windows has for a decent amount of time, but ugh. Linux Mint. Could I? Okay. Hold on. At the very least. Let's see. Maybe MX Linux instead of Linux Mint. Just so it's at least something I'm interested in. It's based on Debian. Yeah, MX at least sounds a bit better. It's a mid-weight, simple, stable desktop OS. Let's see if it has. Okay. I mean, it's based off of Anti-X, which is, I like that more. But I feel, no, it doesn't have a, okay. If it has a normal GNOME version, maybe. I don't know. Should I use GNOME? Cinnamon's your pick. I'll have to think about it. I've thought about doing this for a while, but the thought of it is it's painful. My elitist attitude. What am I gonna do with it? MX Linux is #1 in distro. Really? MX is #1 on DistroWatch? That is no way, bro. What? Has MX become a popular distro? Holy shit, what? Since when has MX been top? It has been #1. I mean, okay, hold on. Let me look at this. MX is 1, Mint is 2, Endeavor is 3, Debian is 4? Zorin is 10? KDE, okay, I don't know how I feel about this list. Zorin, I mean, okay, Zorin, I can, I guess, kind of understand, but KDE Neon? NixOS is at 17. Really? I'm gonna have to switch from Nix to something less popular, I guess, so I can keep my elitist attitude. Damn, okay. Honestly, I cannot believe MX is number 1. Huh. Hmm. Damn. I feel like, I don't know. I mean, I guess I haven't really thought of trying a new distro in a very long time. Super Grub 2 is most popular in the last 7 days? What? What do you mean? Super Grub 2 is just like a utility that lets you, like, I think, what does it do? It, like, lets you, you install on a USB drive, I think, and then, it lets you boot into, things that stuff doesn't do. It's most popular in the last 7 days. Huh? I mean, it's not a distro, though. On Distro Watch? Super Grub 2 isn't a distro, though. Oh, I mean, are you talking about latest news and updates? Because latest news and updates... Wait, it's a distribution? What the fuck? How does that count as a distribution? I guess. Whatever. But yeah, maybe I'll try the a Debian based distro. At the very least, maybe Mint.
Well met. What is it?
It's not where I meant to go, but that's fine as well.
Go ahead.
No clue in Super Grub 2. Yeah, I mean, Grub is just the thing you use to can you write the rules for me now? Oh, I mean, I'm not gonna not use FFmpeg to edit my vid. I've been learning that recently. I'm not gonna stop using that. I don't think I can give up Newsboat for my RSS reader. No, okay, I could switch to a different RSS reader. I could switch to a graphical RSS reader, I suppose. I would not enjoy it, but I could do it. I could use, I guess, a image viewer other than Fe, or whatever it's called. That's fine. I guess. I could use VLC instead of MPV. Sure. I'm cringing at the thought of all this, but I could do it. I don't like it. I mean, at the very least, after I go, I have a trip to Germany coming up after that. I don't like it though. I'll have to think about it more. This is great. Oh, hold on, what is this? Disappearance of the doors? Huh? What? That is so vague. Just go to some ruins and find out what happened? What? You're gonna have to only use the Linux terminal moment? I mean, I use a browser. But without the terminal, I use LibreWolf. I mean, if you're gonna go, you're gonna only use the terminal. At that point, I might, go full throttle and switch to Windows. And use Windows for a month. Using Windows isn't a challenge? What do you mean? Yeah, it is. The psychological torture of using Windows? That is a challenge, my guy. What are you talking about? Would have to relearn what mouse does. Yeah, I mean, I only I don't really use my mouse all too much generally. Like I use it in the browser to like click on stuff. But outside of that, and video games. Where do they come up with such names as LibreWolf, Firefox, Thunderbird? I mean, Libre is from, Libre, Esperanto or Spanish word for free. And then just, Wolf is close to Firefox, or, Wolf is, similar to Fox, so that's probably where they got that from. They just thought of an animal that's similar to a fox. And then Firefox, I don't know where they got that from. And then Thunderbird, they probably just thought, alright, what is, something similar to fire, thunder. Something, another animal other than fox, bird. What time is it? Fuck, why am I so tired? It's only 16? 17? Yeah, 11:17, which is what the fuck? It's Well, I don't know. I'm not yawning, but still very tired. Shit, I took my glasses off. I shouldn't have done that. I can't read without them. Mage's Guild is dedicated to preservation and distribution of magical knowledge. Pursue your studies diligently. Of course, as soon as I say yawning, I start yawning. That is such a vague quest. What the fuck? Just go to some Dwemer ruins and try to figure out what happened to them? Yeah, even in the journal, he asked me to find out what happened to the dwarves. didn't give me much information to go on, so I'm not sure if he was serious. What the fuck? What is this? What is this kind of... What is this? You know, this is why I hate Vivek. Of course, you're the guy in charge of Vivek, you know, of the Mage's Guild on Vivek. Yeah, it's... Vivek needs to go. As soon as I read the yawn that you wrote in chat, Jasper, that was exactly after you wrote that, and I read it. Nah, whatever. I'm gonna go to bed. And I'll think about using normal people stuff, like Windows or Mint or MX, since apparently that's #1 on DistroWatch now. Good night. Or good day, whatever sounds on your end. Ugh. Peace.